Hello, welcome to Young Engineers Today. We're going to cover a variety of topics to help you get started with resources we'll be using during this spring of 2015 semester with the 5th and 6th graders of Young Engineers Today. All right, a few things. We'd like you to go through and do this survey if you have not. This will help us provide us some feedback to see your background, your interests, etc. A few questions. Do you like to take things apart? Would you find building a game more fun than playing the game? Curious about how to solder? Use epoxy? Repair a tent with needle and thread? Enjoy math and science? Read science fiction fantasy? Hopefully you like all those things or like some of those things, and because you're amongst friends. Those are the type of things that we'll be doing and the way our minds work and curiosity, and we're really excited to have you here, part of Young Engineers Today. We're going to be learning by doing. You will work with your head and your hands during our labs as well as our webinars. You're going to become a technology creator, not just a consumer of technology. We're going to push you further. Class meetings. We have 1-hour webinars twice a week online. We have no homework. We don't have tests. And we do a digital portfolio using a Google website, at which you'll be able to access more information from our YouTube channel and our Edmodo site, which we'll be learning about shortly. What we'll be doing. First off, you're going to be creating your own digital portfolio. As I said, this is through a Gmail account, so you have to make sure you have a Gmail account. And then we're going to move into ancient engineering. We're going to be looking at medieval weapons, siege machines, architecture, technology. Everyone's getting this book, Many Weapons of Mass Destruction 3, and also a variety of materials. We'll be using this book at our labs as well as at our webinars. And it's vital that you actually are attending the webinars and labs. They go hand in hand. If you just go to all the labs, you're not going to get everything out of it. If you just do all the webinars, you're not going to get everything out of it. They're paired together for a great experience. We're also going to be doing 3D printing. We have access to 5 or more 3D printers, and you're going to be using these to make so we can print things that you design. Now, we have a large community using these from our 5th and 6th to our 7th, 8th through our high school. So you'll get your part, but maybe you're not going to get it in a quick turnaround, okay? It might take some time, so have some patience with that. With this, you're going to be doing 3D modeling using Tinkercad. If you've used it before, great. There's a lot more advanced features that they put on there in the last 6 months, especially in the past year. They've been bought by Autodesk. We're going to be doing printing, design, and also modeling with creating molds. We're doing materials engineering. We're going to do environmental engineering, for example, some solar power experiments. We're also going to do aerospace. With aerospace, we're going to do rockets, Kerbal Space Program, Rock Sim, and hopefully we get to some hot air balloons. And a lot of these things, you're going to be not just learning about them during the webinars and at the labs, but you're going to be doing activities and building things and having resources that are either digital, where you're like simulators, or you're going to be building things at home or in the lab. Okay? Now, a few things we want to make sure that you can do is raise your virtual hand. That's with GoToWebinar. Have you registered for all those webinars? We highly recommend that you register for the 5 o'clock webinar, for the 5 to 6, and the 6:30 to 7:30. You might be going, oh, but I'm only going to do the 5 o'clock one, 5 o'clock one. But what happens if your sibling ends up having a practice or something, or an emergency happens, and you have to go to a different webinar time? This gives you easy access because we only have a very short window between 6 and 6:30 to support that. And if we're running over, if we have to prep for something, you might not get the access you need right away. And especially if you realize that you're trying to contact one of us during the webinars, we're not checking our emails because we're teaching. And we're going to show you how to register for Edmodo. And you need a Gmail account. The reason we want to ask for Gmail is so that you can do your website and that you can join YouTube easily. All right, now with YouTube, we're going to ask you to become a subscriber to Young Engineers Today. So just subscribe to this, and because we will make mini recordings so you can see when we upload those recordings of our webinar. So you have a horrible case of the flu and you miss a whole Monday's webinar, or you're on vacation or something, you can't meet the webinar. This allows you to get caught up and you can watch it on your own pace, such as, for example, this video that I'm recording right now. Here are our webinar times. Please use these links. If you have any further questions, please email Sandy Dubik or Tom Dubik, our founders of Young Engineers Today, about accessing these courses, but here are the 2 webinars. And I recommend registering for all of them, and you'll get a daily reminder on every webinar day for these. All right, now Edmodo. For Edmodo, Edmodo is like a teacher-student version of Facebook. Parents, students, it's highly protected because it's regulated, it's censored, it's literally made for educational purposes. You first off have to make an account using an email. Then once you make an account, these codes, this is Charlotte's, this is Raleigh's group, and this, Hickory, and this is Raleigh's. You will use those by hitting groups and then joining. As you join, this is where we'll post video links, updates about classes. This is where you're going to get all your key information. So it's very important to be registered for Edmodo. Now, some things that you're going to need for this class, some aptitudes. Math and science are key, because engineering is the application of math and science. Got to be a strong problem solver, and we're going to help progress you in problem solving. Perseverance. Sometimes things are going to get frustrating. Don't give up. There are going to be topics that, hey, maybe you like the mini siege weapons a lot more than you like 3D printing, or vice versa. Please keep an open mind as we progress through these topics. Be a team player. There might be times where we're going to be doing group discussions, or you're going to be working with another person at a lab. Be a team player. And lastly, use communication. If you're struggling with something, communicate with us. During the webinars, ask questions, answer questions. Be an active participant in Young Engineers of Today. You're going to gain more out of it, okay? Now, Webster defines engineering as the practical application of science and math, as in the design and construction, machines, vehicles, structures, roads, and systems. Now, with that being said, the last thing I want to show you is that if you go on the Young Engineers Today website, go to Classes, Spring 2015 Semester, and you scroll down, there's a calendar. This calendar, when you open it up, shows you when your lab times are, the dates, what days we don't have things, when we have webinars. So this keeps you fully engaged and active in what's going on, okay? So I would make sure you're checking up on that, all right? Now, next, half of jobs created today are a result of technology. Now, the flip side of this, yeah, technology is wonderful. The fact that we're even be able to do a video recording plus do a live webinar and communicate with people in 3 different areas of the state of North Carolina is phenomenal. And you can do this all over the globe. We have access to amazing technology in this 21st century. Now, however, many jobs are being lost to technology because technology is moving to very high skills. Due to technology, you have to have higher skills. As you can see in this, the jobs that are increasing are the high skills, all right? And actually, a lot of them are on the decline or on slow growth because, as this image shows, things that used to be very repetition movements, such as assembly line working or jobs that are very repetitive, that don't take a ton of skill, we're developing robots to do that. Now, they're creating jobs because they're creating jobs for the welder to put this together, the machinist to make these, the mechanical engineer to design and work on, the electrician, electrical engineers, the programmers, the computer engineer, the biomedical, etc. The architect designed the spacing for this. The civil engineers, they're creating jobs. They're creating a lot of 2-year, 4-year, and certification jobs. So it's becoming a very educated area within that certification, 2-year to 4-year. An example, my brother's a welder. He has basically a 2-year degree. And lastly, these are some of the most highly demanded college majors with regards to salary. These are averages. But as you can see here, they're all engineering. And then quickly, a quick comparison. You'll use a scientific method of, and you know this, observation, hypothesis, experiment, analyze data and conclusion, and peer review. Peer review is the professional way we do multiple testing of it, so all scientists around the globe can give feedback on this and try these out. But the engineering method's similar but a little bit different. We do research. We do math and science and look at the market. Is this going to be useful or not? We plan, we identify, we brainstorm, we select an idea, we model it, simulate it, proof of concept. We prototype it. In this prototype, we build it, we test it, and we repeat this process over and over to improve it, to make it more functional. And lastly, we put it in production. And here are some types of engineering fields. Hopefully you enjoy being part of Young Engineers of today, and we're very helpful. Once again, my name is David Taylor. I will be your instructor for this spring, and thank you for being part of Young Engineers today. Take care.